The Premortem. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 319 of the Shower Podcast, the podcast where I'm in my shower and you do you. I'm your host, Chip, and before we start, I have to admit, I lied to you. Not in my shower. I'm currently in Argentina, and I'm trying to record this at the best of my capabilities. So forgive me if you'll have some background noise or, in general, the quality will not be the same as the previous episodes, but the conditions are a bit more different. Having said that, before we start, as usual, if you end up liking this episode, remember the liking and subscribing really mean a lot. They're just one click, but they really make the difference. Thank you very much for considering it. Today, we have the first of the usual couple of episodes of the weekend drop, the shorter, easier episode of the Shower Podcast, where we unpack one idea you can actually use before Monday. Today, we're talking about a tiny planning trick that prevents a lot of headaches. The pre-mortem. You've heard of post-mortem, most likely. What teams do after something fails. A pre-mortem flips the timing. You imagine it's a few weeks from now and your plan already failed. Not because you're pessimistic, but because seeing the weak points early lets you fix them while it's easy. When we plan, we picture the clean path. All green lights, perfect energy, no surprises. But plans don't fail in the fantasy. They fail in the details. The late meetings, the missing file, the kid's fever, the day you're tired and a quick break becomes an hour. The pre-mortem invites those real-world bumps onto the page before they happen. Let's make it concrete. Say you want 4 workouts this week. In a normal plan, you write Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and maybe Saturday. Just going to the gym. Looks neat, organized, and quite simple. In a pre-mortem, you say, it's next Sunday and I didn't do 4. Why? The honest answers just shows up. Monday died because a call ran late. Wednesday died because you forgot your shoes. Friday died because you were cooked and said you'd make it up tomorrow. Sunday died because friends invited you to brunch. Again, it's nothing dramatic. Just exactly how streaks break. Because you wrote it down in advance, you can make small edits that keep the plan alive. A backup slot on Tuesday, for example. A spare pair of shoes living in your bag. A good enough 20-minute home session for tired days. And a simple rule that Sunday's workout happens before brunch, not after. The pre-mortem isn't paranoia. It's precision. It helps you to see the difference between a plan that depends on heroics and a plan that survives contact in a normal week. We chronically underestimate delays, overestimate our energy, and forget the frictions between tasks. You don't need a research paper to know that. You just remember last week. The pre-mortem uses that memory on purpose. It treats future obstacles as regular guests, not surprise villains. When they arrive, you already set a chair at the table. You can use this one on anything at all. A presentation, a side task, even a social plan. Imagine it's done and it went badly. What went wrong? The important bit is that you are concrete and kind. So, here's your weekend drop challenge. Pick one thing you want to get done this coming week, but just one. Imagine it's the end of the week and it failed. List the top 2 reasons that would explain it, and then set one safeguard for each. If you'll run out of time, put a backup slot on the calendar right now. If you lose steam, create a minimum viable version that still counts. If you'll forget, place a physical cue where you can miss it. For example, the shoes by the door, document open on the laptop, or ingredients already on the counter. 10 minutes today will save you from that familiar Friday scramble where you're trying to rescue a plan that never had a chance. That's it. simple, fast, and surprisingly calming. You're not hoping that week goes your way. You're shaping it so that when the messy bit shows up, as they always do, your plan bends but doesn't break. That was all for today. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that again, the quality was good enough and that my voice was not too bad. My nose is killing me right now, but as we always say, we try to bring this at the end of the day, and so we are here. Having said that, thank you very much for listening. If you made it so far, feel free to share with this content and interact with it in any way, shape, or form by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, whatever works for you. And having said that, as always, stay consistent, stay resilient. This was the Shower Podcast, and we'll see you tomorrow with the other bit of the weekend drop.